All right, everybody, good morning. How's everybody doing today? Good. Is everybody enjoying their time here?
Yeah.
Everybody excited to be here? Yeah. Who's ready to go home and make millions this year? Yeah. All right, so today we're going to be talking about leadership that fuels culture. All right, everybody knows me, knows I like to do exercise. Nobody was downstairs for me at 6 o'clock, except for my boy Steve was waiting on me and didn't show up, so I apologize. So we're going to start off this morning with an exercise. Can everybody do that for me? Everybody have a pen and paper, notes, phone or something like that? So what I want you to do is I want you to think about some great leaders that you've worked with that have inspired you to be the person that you've been today. And I want you to real quickly write down 3 great traits of positive, impactful leaders in your life. And they don't have to be somebody you've known personally. It could be musicians, politicians, actors, friends, mentors, whatever it is. So real quickly, think about 3 positive traits of great leaders. Communication, integrity, whatever it is. Take 10 more seconds to write down 3 positive traits. All right, now we got the good. We got to talk about the bad, right? So go ahead and think about 3 negative traits of leaders. All right, the toxic, poor communication, whatever it is, just think about those bad things that you never wanted to do as a leader and have just built toxic cultures and just maybe, companies that have just gone down because of poor leadership. So write down 3 negative traits of leaders. I'm going to come back to these here in a little while. All right, so let's get started. Good managers show you their superpowers. Good leaders will show you yours. All right, think about that as you're leading your team, as you're leading your family, as you're leading your community. All right, you want to bring out the best out of everybody that's around you. It's not going to be about you. It's about what you can do to impact the people that you work with, the community. So I want you to really think about that while we're going through these slides today. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about a story. I've only shared the story once before, other than real close family. And this is Club Chaos. All right, this is off the coast of Iraq. This is a Navy story. This is 2006, and Travelocity gave this resort a 1 out of 5 stars. It's not a fun place to be, but this is where we lived for 6 months in 2006. It was right off the coast of Iraq. We were training the local Iraqi army on how to take over this oil platform so they can secure it for all the oil tankers to come up and refuel on oil. Out here you can barely see it. Little fishing boats. Iran was over here. They like to play with us and come over here and mess with us. And then we had all these coalition ships all around us that would support us. They would bring us food, communications, whatever it is, and about, I don't know, maybe 7, 8 miles over here was another one that was nice. That was probably about 3 out of 5 stars. But we got Club Chaos. So Chaos was Quara Alamea Oil Terminal. All right. Luxury living. These were our homes. All right. Ocean view, real nice. AC, good to go. Air drying all our uniforms and stuff outside. I think we had 4 bunks in these, so we had 8 people in each one. They're about 20 feet long. If you've ever been in a Conex box, they're really not that comfortable. But this is where I was living for 6 months, and we had to make the best of it. We didn't have an option. That's all we can do. 6 months of living in these things. Now, we didn't have Uber Eats back then. It's 2006. But I talked about those coalition ships out there, and what they would do is they make food for us because we didn't have a 5-star chef on board with us. And they would put the food on a little bridge, a little 12-foot boat, and then ride the waters and just bounce everywhere. And then that's how our food got delivered. I mean, this was like probably the best day right here of food. I mean, it's pre-mixed with oil dressing and everything like that. Good stuff. All right, so this is what we're doing. Like I said, we had the local Iraqi army out there and our crew out there, and every day we're out there training them. And we're trying to train them to be good leaders because we want to be able to walk away from this mission and they could take on this oil platform without our presence there. And in order to do that, we had to be impactful leaders for them as well. We had to teach them what to do, build morale, community, communication, all those things. And this is my team out there. And you saw the living, you saw the food, we're in the middle of the ocean, we had to make the best of it. And I'll tell you right now, I had some of the greatest leaders that, as I look back even today, have impacted the person I am. Right here, it's getting chills talking about him. He just recently passed away in a tragic accident last year. Brian Crump. Man, it's giving me chills right now, sorry. I can't think of one negative trait of that leader. I mean, every single day he showed up. He was there for you. He was an effective communicator. I mean, you wanted to be the Crump in the Navy, and he was just that role model that you want to be as a leader, that you want as a leader in your life. So think about those good leaders we talked about. But this is fun. This is all we did. We had our people here, and we had to make the best of it. We did tons of pictures, and literally all we did was work out every single day, teach the local Iraqis. But like everything, life is good until it isn't, right? You got your trucks running, everything's going smooth, and then all of a sudden everything just blows up. Accidents happen. Vehicles get into an accident, the guys mess up a job, whatever it is. Everything's good until it isn't. So this was our Tactical Operations Center. This is where we did all our communications and our meetings. And I want you to remember this right here. This is a platform that's up there. And then down here is about 60 feet where the water line was. And we'll come back to this right here. But this is a little cage you can see right here that belongs to the crane. And this is how we got our food up, was this little cage right here. We put us in there and go down there. Again, not the best life, but we made the best of it because we had good leaders impacting our lives every single day. I'm going to show you a quick video. Hope you can hear it.
Keon, after something hit us, we don't know what. That's all the oil burning. I'm going to fill as much as I can, but they kick me off here. This is roughly 10 minutes afterwards. See the whole sky is covered in black smoke? Somebody just pissed the wrong country off.
All right, so right there, let me go back to it. This was the walking line we had over there, the bridge, and right here was another one of those Connex boxes. That was actually where I lived with the guy who was talking, Jake. That was the where we kept all the ammunition and weapons. We were right about here at 8 o'clock that morning, where we got a phone call to go up to the Tactical Operations Center and fill out some paperwork. About 20 minutes later was when that explosion happened. That was the scariest moment of my life. It put us to the ground. I mean, the impact, the explosion was so explosive that the oil terminal 6-7 miles away, they felt it, and they got shocked too. Lives were lost that day. Luckily, no American lives were lost, but some of the oil terminal workers did not make it. And we had a mission. We had a mission to teach the local Iraqis. We knew our job. And once this happened, we had to react. And when we reacted, we did exactly what we needed to do because of the great leaders. We were taught well. They showed us what to do in the scenarios. We planned for things like this. And when it came down to it, we executed the way we were supposed to. Now, the locals, they did not. They were scared. They hid. They were just, it did not go well for them. So we had to do everything we can to secure this because we didn't know if we were getting attacked or not. It ended up being a local welder was welding an oil line, a fuel line, and blew the whole thing up. But it was crazy. So you can see this is the metal. I mean, just absolute terror. So we were out there for about 6 hours. Everything was just done. We were like, all right, mission's complete. We're going home. There's nothing else for us to do. The oil platform is just destroyed. We got evacuated off of the terminal onto a U.S. Navy ship. Mission complete. We're happy. We're ready to go home, tired. And then we got the call. Return back. Go secure the platform and make sure everything is functional and do what you can to hold it down. We didn't want to do it, but we had good leaders. And those leaders were said, hey, we're going back and we're going to complete this mission. So that's what we did. We went back. We secured that oil platform. We had no power, no running water. It was, probably the worst conditions for us, not the worst conditions for anybody at that time. And we had 4 more months while we're out there. But it was leaders like these guys that made us want to be out there, made us want to complete the mission, made us want to be successful. And then there's Brian Crump, like I said right there. That platform that I told you up here, our commanding officer thought it'd be cool to jump in the water the day before we leave and broke his back. So we had to get a helo evacuation out there, and there was really no way to do it, but something we never planned for. But again, great leaders like that made the mission successful, and we're able to get the officer off the platform successfully to Germany, and he's still alive today. So, all right. So a little bit about me, J.C. Chanowski. I'm a father. I've got 2 beautiful dream killers. I call them dream killers, but I do love those girls more than anything in the world. Nixie and Annika, they are my life. If you follow me on social, you see I do everything with them. Nixie is a beautiful, amazing young woman, 13 years old. Annie, she's a terror. She's 10 years old, but she is just, just probably everything that she's a great kid though. And that's my father, Brian. He's been my rock forever. We do everything together, the 4 of us. And without the 3 of them, I wouldn't be here today. I'm very successful because of those 3. U.S. Navy Chief, been in the Navy 19 years. The rank of a chief in the Navy, less than 10% of the military personnel made that rank, so I'm very proud of that day. That was 2016, back when I was married and I had my whole family there. It was one of the proudest days of my life, other than the birth of my 2 daughters. I do have a PhD. It's a public high school diploma, but I do have that, so I am very proud of that. I've been a CLIPA certified trainer since last year. I'm very proud to work among the CLIPA crew with Brian and Red, Matt, and the CLIPA ladies. So that's been an awesome thing for me to do, get out there and teach all y'all on how to successfully run Christmas-like companies. And I'm very proud to be part of this crew. And the stuff that they did for you guys here today is absolutely incredible. There's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes, and I'm sure you guys enjoyed yourself today like I have. I'm a fun entrepreneur. I love building teams. I love working with my crews. I mean, you see smiles in those faces. They're not fake smiles. I didn't pay for those smiles. They're smiling because they're happy to be with me, happy to work alongside with me. I'm so proud of every single person, every single teammate that comes through our company, and I enjoy what I do every single day. So, 2009, I started Cape Fear Pro Wash when I got out of the Navy for the first time. I didn't want to go into security because that was my background in the military. And I didn't want to work for somebody else. I thought I was going to get out of the Navy and just run the world. I found out real fast that wasn't the case. But I started the pressure washing company in 2009 with my father. That was Myrtle Beach, our first pressure washing convention. Still have the company now, 14 years later, and we're just shy of hitting $1 million of that. 2016, I was fortunate enough to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. Had a pressure washing convention where I met Brett and Ryan. They had a wreath up on the wall with Christmas lights. It said, "We hang Christmas lights." I'm sure like most of you, you're all skeptical, like you can hang Christmas lights and make money. There's no way, but we're doing it, right? Raise your hands. Who's just starting the Christmas light industry now, this year? All right. Well, good on you for being here. I wish I had this training back in 2016 when I started, so. All right, so, see that, but we're going to be talking about how your leadership affects your company culture. All right, company culture is very important to me and my team. This picture was taken last year, my good little dog, Rocky. We'll see him in a second. All right, so who here is a leader? Raise your hand. Who's a leader? All right. This is Joe. He's my operations manager. This is him when he started my company 3.5 years ago. He was a technician back then. And he actually came from another pressure washing company, which I really didn't want to hire because they have bad habits, but I took a chance on him. One of the best hires I've ever made in my life as a business owner. That guy has developed into one of the best leaders I have worked alongside. And it's because of the communication, the training, and everything we're doing. But he's just a listener. He's passionate. He loves our company. And he's just all bought in. So that's real important as you're developing leaders in your company, that they're bought into your company and what you're doing. And the impact that I've had on him, and now he's impacting everybody below him, next to him, is just absolutely incredible to see his change over the last 3 years. And his beard, how much that thing's growing. All right, so it's real important that you understand everybody can be a leader, okay? Your kids are leaders in school, in sports. The person who you just hired yesterday can be a leader, and you need to make them aware of that. Because when they're out there doing things, they don't need to be calling you on every single thing. So as long as they understand that you can be a leader at any point in your career or in your life, that they're going to build the confidence in themselves to be able to take on those roles as a good leader. And that they're molding themselves to be the best leader that they can be. That's why it's important for you to be a good leader and a good example for them, and don't just shut them down. Because the last thing you want to do is, oh, you're just a technician, you're just hanging lights. That's all you're going to do. No, you're going to be the next me. You want to train everybody that's working with you, beside you, below you, above you, to be the next you. You want your replacement to be coming in from every side. So make sure that you're empowering your team to be leaders. All right, so we talked about some good leaders, right? We got some good traits here: empathy, communication, listeners, trust, integrity. Give me some examples that you guys wrote down. Anybody? Yes.
Genuine, supportive, and caring.
All right, great. Who else? Accountable. What else?
Compassion.
Compassion, great one. Anybody? Back here? Communicate. That's very important. All right, communication. I think we talked about that in a little while, but that's one of the most effective traits of a good leader is communication. All right, bad leaders. This is me when I was actually training Jack to be a Navy chief. All right, you don't want to be that leader that just puts them down. Poor integrity, micromanaging, lack of accountability. I just learned about this one. I'm 41 years old. I just found out another bad trait that I had as a leader was toxic positivity. Has anybody ever heard of that? Yeah. All right, that's where you're just happy all the time. It doesn't matter what's going on. Oil platform burning down. It's okay, guys. It's going to be good. That's actually really bad to be doing that the whole time, because you got to level up with your team and get onto the level and understand, like, all right, yes, this sucks, and we're going to figure out a way through this. But if you're positive through every single scenario, every single thing, it's really not good. Just learn that. And poor communication skills. So that says 3 things to be a successful leader. Oh, that's my dog, Rocket. We passed away last year, but this is the dog ever. All right, so we want to lead by example. All right, that's part of that integrity thing, right? We're not just going to say, go do this, this is how you're supposed to do it, and then you're going to do something completely different. All right, you got to be that example every single day throughout that company, throughout your kids' life, your spouses, whatever it is, throughout the community. You got to be the example so that they know what they should be doing. And then when you're walking away, you're not doing something completely different. Like, well, he told me to do this, but he's doing that, so what am I supposed to do? Communication, we just talked about that. Not everybody communicates on the same level. Part of that communication is also listening. All right, some people are visual learners. Some people need hands-on. Some people need a little bit more work. But that's part of that communication, so you understand what level they need to learn with you. Because I can't just go tell you, go do this, and this is what I want done, and then that's it, and expect it to be 100% perfect. Some people need that detail, that outline, to go step by step. And some people are going to say, Steve, go make this happen, and he's going to make it happen. So you need to understand that not everybody listens on the same level, not everybody learns on the same level, so you need to be effective communicators so that they can get the mission done the way you want it done. And also understand that it's not going to be exactly the way you want to do it too, but as long as the mission is getting complete, that's what's important. All right, and you want to empower your employees. Lift them up. Let them be leaders. Let them give you those ideas that are just brainstorming in the head. If I just sat around all day and said, we're going to do it this way, and this is how it's going to get done, and I never listened to my team, I wouldn't be here right now. Because every single week, they're coming at me with these ideas. I'm like, I never would have thought about this. And if I shut them down every single time, they're not going to want to come to you. They're not going to want to communicate with you to give you those ideas. Because you never know. You don't know their backgrounds. Maybe they've done something completely different, but they've seen it done or know a better way of doing it. If you shut them down every single time, then you're just going to shut their hopes down for wanting to be a good leader amongst your team. All right, leaders adapt. You're not the same leader today as you were years ago, and I just recently learned that a lot with myself. Has anybody ever taken a DISC profile? All right, if you haven't done it, I recommend you doing it, and then you do it with your team. I used to be a very high D, and I've switched over to an I now. So just remember, just because you are who you are today, it's not going to be who you are tomorrow. It's not going to be who you are next year. And that's part of being able to recognize your good traits and your bad traits. Because if you're sitting here thinking that I'm the best leader that I'm ever going to be, and there's nothing that's ever going to make me better, you're failing yourself. So you need to be able to recognize and communicate with your team. Because if my team wasn't there to tell me if I'm doing something wrong, because I am, and they're afraid to tell me, then I'm constantly going to be doing those, like I said, the toxic positivity. I was doing that, I didn't realize it. And they never told me until recently, and I'm grateful for them to be able to tell me that. So, you will change. You will adapt. You'll find out the good traits. You'll find the bad traits. And I had a good commanding officer in the Navy where he would take all the good traits of the people he worked with and just put them up here and like, that's what I want to be. I want to be that leader. And then he'd find the bad traits too. And that's the ones he wanted to avoid. So he's able to learn from everybody. And again, you can learn from the guy who just started. You can learn from your local community. You can even learn from your kids. I learn so much from my kids. Every stuff they come out with nowadays is crazy, but always be learning. I have some good news for you guys, and I have some bad news for you. The good news is, well, one of it is you're here. You're learning. You're going to be successful because of what you're doing today and what you're learning from yesterday. But really, you're going to fail. And when you do fail, make sure you fail forward. I have failed as a father, I have failed as a husband, I have failed as a leader, I have failed as a son, but it is what has made me the person I am today because of those failures. I'm able to recognize those failures. I'm able to learn from those failures. And I'm able to teach from those failures. So if you're failing, figure out why you failed and learn from that. Teach to it. Teach your team. Recognize it. It's okay to fail, but fail forward when you do it and be impactful with that. I think sometimes we just beat ourselves up too much when we do fail, but it's, again, as long as you can recognize and learn from it, it's what's important. All right, so we're going to talk about culture. One thing that we do with our culture in our company, I like to think that we have a very good culture in our company, is we have team pictures up throughout the whole office space. We don't have motivational pictures with Jordan and political figures and whatever else. We like to put our team on the wall so that when we have people coming into the office, they get excited. They see them on the wall. If we have a new hire coming in for an interview, they see those pictures. We talk about those days. Christmas party. I got a company fishing trip over here. Because that gets them excited. They start feeling that team, that family. And then they're like, I want to be in that wall. So, whatever you do, just make it fun. But that's what we do, and it helps. So you're going to have culture no matter what. Whether you're intentional about it is up to you. You got good culture and bad culture. But that's up to you to be able to figure that out on how you want to do it. I recommend you have good culture. But you also need to identify that and recognize if it is good or bad. Don't just think it's great. All right, so I got a quick video here.
Favorite part of working with picture illumination is a family of people, great people, love you looking out with.
Love the company, great family environment, everybody friends, everybody gets along.
Is the fact that it's one big happy family.
That they care about people that live with them, everybody around them, they're trying to do a good job.
It's really a nice place to work. Everybody's willing, like a fun family environment, kind of like a bunch of friends.
Just the people, the camaraderie, everybody's here is really nice, fun to get along with. Making families smile when I hang out their lives, kids happy.
The workplace culture is very friendly. We get to work outside all day.
Like how everyone, we consider each other more a family rather than just a job, and it's actually fun in the workday.
So most of those kids were 19, 20 years old, a lot of seasonal employees. And they've only been there at that point, that was in October, maybe 2 weeks. But what'd you keep hearing there? Fun, family, they were happy to be there. And that's the impact that we made on them within 2 weeks of being there. So whatever you're doing, I like to have fun, no matter what I do. If I'm not having fun, I don't want to do it. All right, so why is company culture so important? If you have poor company culture, you're not going to be able to retain good employees. You're not going to be able to attract new team members. So from the start, talk about it here, we want to build that winning team. Just like a coach on a football team or a baseball team or any sports team, they don't call them employees, do they? They're team. And we like to get rid of that word employee throughout everything. I don't even think it's our handbook anymore. We substitute employee with team. And just that little word right there shifts the whole mindset, because now you want to be part of a winning team. Be part of something bigger. So little things like that will help go a long way. So take that word out. Get rid of employee and make it a team. You want to build that family. This is really important because we know from the ones that have done the Christmas lights how stressful it gets during the Christmas light season. 50, 60, 80, 100-hour weeks. Your stress levels are high, they're low. You come in the morning, no sleep. You know, what is your attitude when you come in the morning? Are you pissed off? You're angry because things didn't go the right the day before? It needs to be consistent 24/7. So if you had a bad day, okay, leave that out the door. When you come in there, smile. I mean, just that smile when you walk through that door goes a long way, because your team will see that, and they're like, oh, JC's smiling today, you know, this is gonna be a good day. But then you come through the door and you're pissed off, you know, you look like you haven't showered in weeks, and they're like, I can't even talk to him right now. Like, I've got personal stuff going on, but JC's pissed off, so let's just shut up and get to work. And then they're miserable throughout the day. Then the job efficiency goes down, the quality of work goes down. So it has to be consistent 24/7. That's not easy to do. We work in a very high stress environment with Christmas lights. You guys understand that. You ladies understand that while you're out there, you get the calls coming in, the complaints, the call volume, everything like that. It's hard to be happy during the Christmas light season, even though we're trying to make everybody happy. But you gotta find that happy medium. That's why you gotta build your team up to be great leaders as well, because they'll help support you and be there for you. And I know my team. I know my team very well. And that's from my military background. I'm standing at the gate and just seeing people come in every day. I can tell who's having a bad day. I can tell who's hungover. I can tell who just got a new spouse or a new girlfriend, whatever it is. Whether it's showing up late or early or those things. So you want to be able to recognize those traits within your team, because it's important. Because if somebody who's always happy every single day, they come in and they're really just quiet and down, maybe something's going on. Maybe they're late on some bills. Maybe somebody just passed away or they're struggling. So you need to be able to pull them aside and talk to them as a leader and have that empathy with them, or sympathy, depends on what the situation is. So you can't expect to go home tonight or tomorrow night and change your culture just like that. It's going to be a gradual thing. So I challenge you to kind of look at your culture, think about your culture. For the ones that are just starting their companies, think about how you want your culture to be as you're growing your companies, because it's not going to happen just like that. Just because it's a job doesn't mean you can't have fun. We like to have fun. Fun is important. We can get the mission complete while having fun. We were in Iraq. We had fun doing what we were doing. So have fun with whatever you're doing, especially during the holiday light season. It's a very high stress month or 3 months for you guys, so make it enjoyable. All right, when I talk about fun, we're talking about fostering unity and nurturing. All right, we're going to keep our team connected. We want them to feel valued, and we want to motivate them throughout the season, throughout the year, whatever you're doing. So I like to, when I used to do interviews, I tell everybody I sat down with this, I want you to want to come to work here. I don't want you to feel like you have to. I want you to wake up every single day to be proud to work for Patriot Illumination, to be proud to work for K-Fear Pro Wash, to be proud of the team, proud of the job that you're doing. Because when they're doing that, they're coming in excited. They're coming in happy. They want to go do that the install, and they want to do the best job they can because they want to make you proud. They want to be proud of themselves. So if you can get them to shift their mindset that they can come to work because they want to, or because because they want to, not because they have to, it's going to shift the whole mindset throughout the day and make it more effective. Who has core values? All right, I just got our core values recently, and I realized that for a long time, I was casting this vision to my team, but we never had it written down, our values. And it's really important that you figure out your values. And they're always going to be different. And when we finally did it, we figured out we want our team to be the light. All right, we want loyalty, integrity, growth, humility, and teamwork. So now our team has